Today, I would like to show you my daughter's new weekly checklist that I just finished making for her today. And I'm getting it printed out and laminated for her. And I just wanted to take you along and show you what I made so that you can just see how I help my daughter to be independent in her schoolwork as much as possible for our homeschool. Hi everyone, welcome to our homeschool table. My name is Jerilyn. I'm a mom of 3 kids, ages 10, 3, and 1, and this is our 6th year homeschooling. My oldest daughter is in 5th grade this year, and if you've watched any of my recent videos, you may know that we are switching to a new language arts program in the next couple of weeks. Because of that, I am making my daughter a new weekly checklist that I thought I would show you today. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. It's free. And hit the thumbs up if you enjoy videos like this. I am kind of a checklist person myself. I have checklists for cleaning. I have checklists for homeschool. Each of the kids have a morning chart and a chore list that has pictures and all sorts of things. If you want to see a video about that, I am happy to do that as well. But here at our house, the apple does not fall very far from the tree, and my daughter likes to have a checklist as well. Back when my daughter was in kindergarten, I made for her a little system where she would have these little pieces that were her assignments or whatever subject it was with a little picture on it. And then she would move it from her chart where she had it all kind of lined up in order of how I wanted her to do it. She would take them off. They were Velcroed on, and then she would put them back on the kind of home chart is what I called it. And so then she would know that when she got through all of the little tags, then she was done for the day. And that is an idea that I originally got from Jamie Erickson at the Unlikely Homeschool. She shared about that on some of her videos from way back. She doesn't post YouTube videos anymore that I know of, but that was an idea that she has, and she actually has those on her website, I believe. But I, of course, just make my own version because that's what I like to do. And over the years, my daughter has had different styles of checklists. I usually try different things based on our needs at the time. Well, right now, since my daughter is in 5th grade and she's getting a lot more independent, she is able to do a lot more of her assignments very much on her own. And so sometimes that requires me to write down things like page numbers or what chapter of the Bible to read that day, or just little pieces of information that are helpful instead of just having a box to check for that subject. She wanted an updated look, of course, because she is getting older and wants it to look a little bit more in style, I guess you might say. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around and show you a little bit deeper into what we have made for this coming semester. So this is what her old weekly checklist looks like, and she just has a section for each day of the week. There's Monday and Tuesday on this side, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday on the other. We have a very minimal amount of work on Friday, although you are going to see that I changed it just a tiny bit and added one more thing, but this is what her old checklist looks like. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you what her new checklist looks like. She wanted a more updated look because she's getting a little bit older and cares more about fashion and colors and things like that. So this is what she picked out, and she actually wanted her name taken off. She just wanted it to say weekly checklist now, which is fine and easier for me because then I can show it to you. But first, just a couple of things here so you know what things mean. Anytime that something is written in purple, that is a subject or item that she is going to do independently on her own. My daughter really likes to get up early in the morning, and she likes to work through her independent work by herself in her room while it's quiet and the little kids aren't up yet. So all of these purple items are things that she can do without needing my help. Now, parts of it, like this right here, character study plus narration, that means that later on, and the reason why it's in black is because narration is with me. So she can't mark this off as completed until the narration is finished. And so she can do her Bible reading on her own. I just write the reference of whatever chapter she's going to read or verses that she's going to read for that day. Then she has a character study. That's our Kids of Character from Character Concepts. Language arts. We are switching to a new language arts curriculum at the beginning of February. So that's the main reason why I needed to remake this little chart, because I had other things on here before. So she's going to do language arts and then math practice. If you're interested in knowing more about what we do for math practice, that's not the same as a math lesson. So I can explain more about that in another video if you're interested. Just leave me a comment down below. Then my daughter is a part of the TNT program at Awana, so she has verse memorization that she works on, and she likes to do that in the morning along with her gratitude journal. And then reader and chapter, that is from our Sunlight History Bible Literature Level E package, and there's a set of readers that correspond to the history time period that we are studying, which right now we are in modern America, well, getting to be modern America. And then she has her nature reader. That's our Christian Liberty Press nature reader. And then later on, she will do her narration for me. And I have a little note about that down here so that we don't forget, because that is something that sometimes we do forget. Then she has math and Sunlight History. And Sunlight History sometimes has a couple of readings that I have her do independently. And so that's why I left a couple of blank boxes here so that I can write in the assignment. And since the books change over the course of the year, I didn't want to actually write in the title of the book because they might change. So I'm just going to abbreviate and then write the chapter pages for her underneath. Then she likes to have a checkbox for morning time with me. And for morning time with me, that consists of our Bible time where we listen or read a chapter of whatever is scheduled for us in Sunlight. And then there's a couple of different books that we do. We're doing Starting Strong right now, which is a devotional, and then the Case for Christ. That's a 3 books in one kind of book that we're working on. Then we do scripture memorization or recitation. So she has a booklet that I made for her, and she just opens to whatever week we're on and then practices the recitation for that day and any other history readings that we might have. And then on Thursdays, we also do the timeline figures for our timeline book. So then I put a little note to her to remember to do narrations with me. So up here, you'll see that on Mondays, she's going to narrate her character study to me and whatever she read in her nature reader. Then I also made a new box this time that I didn't have before, but I realized I needed, which is to turn in assignments. Now, these green parts here, these are all of the things that she has to turn in to me to be looked at or graded or whatever. Now, we don't keep formal grades, but I want to make sure that she's getting the math problems right and, things like that. So I go through her work and make sure that she's on the right track. So that's what turn in assignments means. Now, Tuesday is almost exactly the same. The only thing that's different is that instead of nature reader, she works on poetry. And then when she comes out into the dining room to work on morning time stuff, she usually starts that by doing her typing lesson. And that we use Typing 1 from The Good and the Beautiful right now. She really likes that program. She even asked to do it today, which is a non-school day. So that was kind of cool, but she really enjoys that typing. And then morning time with mom, again, narrations. And then this is something that we don't do on Mondays, but we start on Tuesday for the week. which is science. So we use Apologia's Zoology 2, Swimming Creatures of the Fifth Day. And the way that that program is scheduled is that there's a day 1 and a day 2 each week. And there are 28 weeks total, 14 lessons altogether. And so she's going to do the day 1 on Tuesday. And then if we flip it over to Wednesday, we have science day 2. And then on Thursday, if there's any activities that we need to finish up or projects from the science book that we need to finish up, then we will do that here. And this is the science activities. So now that we're here on Wednesday and Thursday, Wednesday is exactly the same almost as Monday was because she's back to her nature reader. And then Thursday is poetry. And then the only thing that changed here is science and science activities. Then down here on Friday, she has her Bible reading. She's reading a book called Girl's Guide to Making Really Great Choices or Really Good Choices, something like that. And then she will do some math and language arts. Now I told her, so the way that I structure our day is my daughter has to do math every single day, Monday through Friday. But this language arts one, if she would like to squeeze in her Friday lesson on Wednesday or Thursday and do it a different day, that is fine with me. It's just math that I want spread out a little bit more. So that's why it's listed on Friday, because it is a 5-day per week program. But I told her she is welcome to do it in 4 days if she would like. She does her Awana verses and gratitude journal again and turns in her assignments. So I hope that it was helpful for you to see what my daughter's weekly checklist looks like, to hopefully give you some ideas of what you might use in your homeschool. I still use my Sunlight Homeschool Planner to write all of the things in there that I do for our homeschool. And then usually, if you've seen any of my planning videos in the past, I'll link my most recent one up here. But I usually just write in independent work or something like that. And I know that that just means that she's got all of her things done on her independent list. And I don't write every single little thing in my planner. I normally in my planner just write all of the things that I'm personally going to do, so things like teach her math lesson or practice with her math. I do all of the morning time things, so our Sunlight readings for Bible, a couple of history readings, our read aloud, things like that. I also put things in my planner for my son who is 3 and in preschool. We just do very light preschool with him, so I put things like that in my planner as well. I would love to know what you use in your homeschool to help your student be independent with their schoolwork. My daughter has always really enjoyed being able to do some things on her own, and so that is kind of why I started making these checklists in the first place. Also, when we first started homeschooling way back in kindergarten, it was a way that she could get started because she likes to start a little earlier than I do. But then I could be getting ready or doing my chores or whatever it is that I need to do, and she's still able to do some things on her own. So it works for us. It might not work for you, and it's definitely not for everybody, but I would definitely encourage you to think about a way that you can implement some sort of independence for your older students if you haven't already. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and leave those down below, and I would be happy to answer questions or make other videos of anything that you are interested in seeing here from our homeschool. I hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today at our homeschool table, and we'll see you next time.